Hey everyone, it's Argonath here from The Right Way, and this is a little bit late, but I did want to make a comment on this, on Chris Pratt's Navy thriller called The Terminal List. As you may have heard, has not been very well received by the so-called critics, but has been absolutely well received by the fans. Alright, so let's have a look at this. The new Yellowstone, Chris Pratt's new Navy thriller, The Terminal List, defies woke critics' scathing reviews and shoots up the ratings chart with 1.6 billion minutes of streams. Now you might be kind of overwhelmed by that number. What does 1.6 billion minutes of streams actually mean? Well, we can work it out. So I've put in 1.6 billion into my calculator here, and if we divide that by 60, so that's per minute, so divide by 60, that gives us how many hours in total people have watched this show across all the people around the world. Alright, so that's the number of hours. Divide that by 24, we get the number of days. Divide that by 365, we get the number of years watched. Now there are 8 episodes for that, so if we divide by 8, then basically it's 380 years worth of continuous days, 380 years worth of viewing for each friggin' episode of The Terminal List, right? And the woke critics been scathing of this. We know why, because the critics don't like things that don't meet their left-wing agenda, like they all are. That's why we just don't. You should never take any critics at their word unless you trust them and you know that they've their opinion matches what they're talking about. So there's a little bit about it. So Rotten Tomatoes shows an average rating of 40 out of 100 by critics, but a glowing 94 out of 100 by viewers. Now, why is there such a huge discrepancy? We see this all the friggin' time, right? We see it all the friggin' time by these so-called critics, because they're just looking at whether it meets their agenda. Does it meet the diversity quota? Does it meet the LGBTQ plus quota? That's all they're looking for. Whereas all the fans are looking for is just a good show with great characters that have some action. Doesn't have to be too cerebral. As long as we get a bit of fun out of it, that's what we're looking for, unless it wants to be a cerebral show. So let's have a look. Woke critics who panned Chris Pratt's new thriller series, The Terminal List, were left red cheeked, well, egg on the face this week, as it leapfrogged other shows to place number 2 on the list of America's most streamed shows. The Terminal List, which stars Chris Pratt as a US Navy SEAL, racked up a whopping 1.6 billion minutes, and as we know, that comes out to about 380 years per episode. Pretty amazing. Which marked the full series 4-week on service, which premiered on July the 1st. So this is a bit old. This was the 7th of August. While the show has been a hit with fans, critics showed disdain for the exciting military series. You know why? Because it's pro-America, it's pro-military, and it's pro the fans, and that's why the critics hated it. So we don't give these critics, don't even go to their websites anymore. Just look for YouTube critics who will actually give their opinion. A lot of these critics, so-called critics, what am I thinking about? The not official, but these professional critics. You know, they have to say good things about what they're talking about to be able to get that early access. Now, because The Terminal List, there is no early access. It's just on Amazon Prime. They don't get anything out of it. And because it doesn't meet their agenda, they don't have to say nice things about it. They included the Hollywood reporter Daniel Feinberg, who called it the entertainment equivalent of a charred hockey puck with the same limited range of flavour and aesthetics. What a goose. But the reaction from people who watched the series couldn't have been more different, with several viewers calling the show great and excellent, while another noted critics as usual got this wrong. Of course they got it wrong, because they have a hidden agenda. The Terminal List looks set to follow the footsteps of smash hit ranching drama Yellowstone, which was ignored by critics but watched by millions to become America's most popular TV show. Again, critics absolutely got that wrong as well. Great shot there of Chris Pratt. I love Chris Pratt as an actor, so I hope it does really well. So again, we can see the screenshot, 40% on the tomato meter for the critics, 94. So only 55 critics rated it. Look at how many audience people rated it. 3,336 people with an average of 94%. Who are we going to believe? Well, it's certainly not the critics, right? We're going to believe the audience. Most entertaining thing on streaming. Shocking it's on Amazon. Love the books, love the show, well done. Excellent show, fun to watch. Awesome thriller with the best actor currently. Critics as usual got this wrong. Outstanding series. Excellent. Author Jack Carr, who wrote The Terminal List, on which the adaptation is based, spoke about the discrepancy on Tucker Carlson tonight in early July, saying it seems to have triggered quite a few of these critics. We didn't make it for the critics, we made it for those in the arena. We made it for the soldier, the sailor, airman and the marine that went downrange to Iraq and Afghanistan. Carr, a former Navy SEAL, continued. So there we go, we can see another reason, right? They never thought of the critics when making this. They thought of the people that would be involved in these types of situations and made it about them and made it for them. And because they did that, there's no woke crap in it. It's just a normal movie about normal people and normal characters. Us, the fans, can also invest in it. I'm not a white person. I'm not in the military. I would never make the military. I'm not fit at all, right? But I can identify with Chris Pratt as a character. I haven't seen it yet because I'm waiting to be at the start of the month, so then I can make full use of the free month, or pay for a month and get it. But I don't need to have someone of my race and my gender to be on screen to connect with that person. Why did I connect with Ripley from Aliens? She was a woman, she was white. Why did I connect with her? It wasn't because she's a woman and I'm a man. There's nothing to do with that. It was to do with because she was a great character, and we could, if we put ourselves in her situation, maybe we could think about what we would do at the same position. Race and gender just doesn't come into it at all. It's what these stupid people keep bringing up. The contrast between critics and viewers is reminiscent of the reaction to Yellowstone, a Paramount Plus cowboy show starring Kevin Costner. Directed and written by Taylor Sheridan, Yellowstone was an instant hit with viewers despite being dubbed anti-woke. It's not anti-woke, it's just normal. It's just that all you woke left-wing idiots call it anti-woke because it doesn't match your far left ideology. But it's just normal TV, which is what we want, what most people want. However, it failed to find some success within the Hollywood industry, being mostly snubbed at award shows despite appearing in more than 10 million viewers. Yep, that's the thing about all these award shows as well. Why are they having falling viewership? Because no one connects with the movies that are up for friggin' awards, right? The only one that I could connect to last time the Oscars there was Dune, because Dune was an awesome movie. I haven't read the books, so I don't know how good it is compared to the books, but just taken as a pure movie, I really enjoyed that movie. And being a sci-fi lover, and that was a sci-fi movie as well, that was double good in my view. But of course, all of these shows that fans like will never get picked for awards. They might just make it into a nomination, but they'll never get an award because it doesn't match the Hollywood ideology anymore, right? The Terminal List stars, I talked about that. He's been put under the microscope in recent months over his alleged political beliefs, only by left-wing idiot people. Pratt is a devout Christian and was caught in controversy over his beliefs when transgender actor Elliot Page accused his church, LA-based Hillsong Church, of being anti-LGBTQ. And probably without any reason. I don't know if there was any evidence to go with that. Pratt vehemently denied this and said nothing could be further from the truth, and added, "I go to a church that opens their doors to absolutely everyone." Many used the controversy to imply Pratt was a supporter of former President Donald Trump, though the actor never personally indicated his support and reportedly donated to Barack Obama's campaign in 2012. Pratt has never mentioned what his political leanings are. Okay. The show trailed Netflix's sci-fi teen tale Stranger Things by a large margin, as a worldwide hit has still led the pack of shows with 4.8 billion minutes. Alright, so Terminal List was 1.6 billion, Netflix is 4.8 billion. Probably because, is Netflix bigger than Amazon Prime? Probably. But Stranger Things is, what is it, into its third season now? Right, whereas this is only starting up, so there's going to be a big discrepancy there, obviously. Stranger Things is an established franchise, whereas Terminal List is new. But the data showed a large drop-off of the show over 1 billion minutes, as the previous week was watched for 5.9 billion minutes. Still pretty huge though. Netflix's Umbrella Academy, which also stars Paige, also continues to rank highly among the world's most watched, placing at third on the list with 1.3 billion minutes. So basically, Umbrella Academy, again an established franchise, got a built-in fan base. Terminal List beat that. And then Amazon's The Boys rounded out the top with 1.1 billion minutes watched, though the window included 2 days availability to watch season 3 finale of the superhero series. So again, Terminal List beat that, whereas The Boys has been an established franchise as well. So I think the Terminal List has done really, really well, and I think it's hit a chord with a lot of people that just want a normal show that shows normal things, doesn't preach the ideology. I'm not saying that you can't have a gay character, or you can't have a black character, or you can't have a female character, but just make them normal. Don't make it all about their race, gender, or sexual orientation. Just make it about the characters and what they get into, and so on. That's what we're looking for. Anyway, let me know what you think. Have you watched Terminal List? Did you like it? I'm looking forward to seeing it next month when I get into and take a month's worth of Amazon Prime and just binge out on everything. But I think it's going to be really awesome, and I just really wanted to make comment on this because I've been keeping up with it for a while and I just haven't had the time to make a comment. So I'd really love to know what you think. If you didn't like it, then that's fine. Just let me know as well, maybe why you didn't like it. That could be good. But you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion if you didn't like it as well. Just like these so-called critics are entitled to their opinion, but we are also entitled to just ignore their opinion and think it's rubbish, which I think is probably the right outcome. Anyway, if you like this content, please click the thumbs up button. If you like my content, please subscribe as well, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video.